Okay, I'm now going to do the pomegranate gremolata, which will be the garnish for this sweet and sour pork shank. So with the gremolata, we're going to have parsley as one of the main components. Usually I'm a real I very strongly encourage you to use stems. But with something like a gremolata, you're definitely going to want to just use the flat leaves of the parsley. So I'm going to be making sure to be very deliberate about picking all the stemmy parts off. And I have some more here. And this is because the cut with a traditional gremolata, and this is an untraditional gremolata in flavor profile, but we want to be traditional in technique. And so what we need to do is a really nice, fine, perfect chiffonade. And that can be really tricky if you don't have a really sharp knife and if you're not careful. So what I like to do is kind of pile all the leaves on top and then fold it on itself, similar to when you're doing a chiffonade of basil. I like using a slicer for the job, but a chef knife would work just as well. Keeping my fingers super curved and trying to keep the chiffonade super, super fine. The more careful you are with the chiffonade and this cut, the more delicate your gremolata will look. If it looks like lawn, well then your gremolata is going to be pretty rustic. And I mean that as a euphemism. Nice and fine. I'm just going to pull that away. Pull that little piece out that's getting a little large, and I'm just gonna kind of repile this on top of each other because I'm not trying to speed through this process. I want it to be perfect, and right now that looks really good, but if I kept going I didn't have enough of a grip on it, so I need to start over. Take it, pile on itself, fold it up good. Now I got my little pile, super, super fine. Rocking that knife. Good. It's just right. Don't need too much. Any of the scraps that I have, I'm certainly going to save. Can use it. But not for this. We're just going to use the perfect chiffonade for this. Okay. Next. I want a nice brunoise of garlic. And I mean, it's gonna be hard to get it like super perfect brunoise, but the idea is that I don't want it to be like I'm running my knife back and forth over the top of this garlic kind of mince. I mean, like I'm almost gonna treat this garlic like an onion. Do really careful horizontal cuts. And then really careful vertical cuts. And again, I love using my slicer for really fine knife work, like perfectly cut chives, perfectly cut scallions, julienne, parsley, brunoise shallots. Believe it or not, I find even though the knife is long, because it's just such a fine blade, it really is easy to get that nice fine brunoise. And there are some variations on a gremolata where you're using your microplane to grate the garlic. I just think it liquefies it too much and you don't get the same effect. I have a few pieces, they're just a little bit big, so I'll run my knife maybe once over it, but that's it. I don't want to break the garlic up too much. Take that into the bowl. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you how to open up a pomegranate. Now, I keep seeing this like fancy method of opening a pomegranate where you cut around the center. Actually, you cut around this part. And then you cut a circle right around the stem and you can kind of pull it up and then pull it into sections. It works. It doesn't work as well as, you know, the internet presents it to in this like viral video that continues to go around. I've tried it several times. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying I personally prefer, and you can form your own opinion. Maybe you'll like the other way better, but I like kind of almost treating it like an avocado. Like I'm made it a point not to cut it in half, although there's no big pit running through, but I don't want to slice the seeds in half. You know, there's a bunch of little pockets of pomegranates within here, and so I just like to kind of cut around the outside, and then I can break him open, turn him over. I have a nice wooden spoon here. Could put gloves on. I'm not really concerned about it because I'm catching everything in this bowl. I'm just gonna give this pomegranate a nice smack with this wooden spoon, and all those little seeds are gonna just jump right out, hopefully leaving most of that pith on the inside. Get a few more there, and the more you smack it, the more it comes out. I have one that's a touch more ripe over here. I like the way that look like little jewels. I love pomegranate. And I think some good ones in that pocket right there. Awesome. Okay. Maybe a couple more smacks and we'll have, yeah, we got plenty now. Next. Pomegranates. Traditionally, a gremolata has lemon zest, and lemon zest is just fine. I have an orange on hand, and so I'm just going to do a combination of lemon and orange. You have a lemon in your parcel. Lemon works great. If you have an orange too, go for it and add a little orange zest if you like. I think the idea is just that there's flexibility, you know, in the formula of a lot of things when it comes to cooking. And so a gremolata traditionally is lemon zest, garlic, and parsley. But we can improvise a little bit, and that's what we're doing here, adding that little bit of pomegranate seeds, which adds not only a real interesting flavor, but a different kind of citrus note, a different textural experience. I'm gonna go crazy with the orange zest, just a few. Mix it up. And we're just gonna do a little spoonful of it over the top. I'm probably gonna add another couple pomegranates, a couple spoonfuls of pomegranate seeds to this. Why not? Just wanna make sure you don't get any of that pith in there. And I'll likely add even a little bit more, but for now, this is great. Okay, there's our pomegranate seed gremolata. I am gonna let it sit in a refrigerator until I'm ready for it.